Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Behind the Scenes. Today we're in our kitchen area to show you a little bit of our food prep. So quickly check out what we have in our kitchen and how it looks different from yours at home. The first thing we do is prepare feeds for those individual patients that are eating whole fish on their own. These might be patients that have graduated through a couple different levels, like fish gruel, through tube feedings, and fish school, but we weigh out very carefully each herring bucket or whatever food they might be given that day. Herring is the primary fish we'll feed out, so that we know we're giving them the exact right amount that's been prescribed by our veterinary team based on the weight of the animal itself. So here's a closer look at the herring, and each of these feeds is based on the animal's overall body weight, but they could be eating anywhere between about 5 and 10 pounds each day. Some of these fish are different though, and they have their medications inside of them. Here we're preparing a medfish. We distinguish it by cutting off some of the fins like you're seeing here, and we cut off the tail so that we can tell exactly which one has the medications, and we always feed it first. Now we stuff any pill forms of medication inside the gill slit so they're nicely hidden inside. So we stuff the pill inside that gill slit, and we might have to open it up a little bit. Our volunteer is carefully placing each of the medfish respectively for the two seals she's preparing them for, Woody and Nobska, who've since been released since this video was filmed. And she's keeping them on opposite sides of her cutting board. We can also inject liquid medications into the fish if that is what our patients need. But in this case, it's just these vitamins or pill form medications. And the medfish are the first ones to be given during a feed so that they can be targeted to the specific patient, and then making sure that those patients are eating the medfish and not being forgotten. Sometimes a patient might not eat their whole feed, so we want to make sure that medfish is first. Now it's time to prepare feeds for the patients that are not eating whole fish on their own yet. So these are the patients who are still in fish school, and when they're not eating the whole fish, they are being fed with a tube and getting fish gruel. So a fish that was put in a blender with oil and water and sometimes salt to help with the hydration, and that's going to all be put into a smoothie type of consistency and given directly through a tube right into their stomach. These tube feedings minimize human contact with them for a prolonged period of time, and it's a quick way for us to deliver the nutrition and make sure that they are taking it down. So right now our volunteers are preparing their tools. They're preparing these very large syringes. This is what we use to hold our fish gruel, or in the case of harbor seal pups that are coming in very soon, we actually have our first one in right now. We put our pup formula in here, similar to a milk matrix for any other animals, but pup formula is specific for seal pups. So one of the first things we'll do is, if there are any medications to be delivered or special nutrients, we will grind those up with a mortar and pestle, or they might be in liquid format already, but those will be put in one of our measuring cups and measured out carefully and then added to the fish gruel. So you can see we actually have to prime these large syringes just because the rubber that keeps it sealed, we don't want any stickiness to it when we are plunging down that feed through the tube. And you can actually help care for our patients by sending us these large syringes or large feeding tubes, and you can find those on our website at the Seal Pup Shower. You can find a direct link in our Seal Pup Registry wish list, and we'll add the link to that below. But these tools are used for all of our tube feedings, so not just the harbor seal pups. But you're about to see them start to pull up the feeds, and we have to measure this all out very carefully. Each of the amounts of feeds, so here you can see those medications and electrolytes, so hydration solutions that might have been prescribed, and then we'll add that to one of our containers. Then we'll add the fish gruel, mix it all up to make the feed. So you really are a master chef if you are a volunteer at National Marine Life Center, preparing each of these feeds individually, tailored to the animal based on what they need and the amount that they need which is prescribed by our veterinary team based on the animal's condition and overall body weight and whatever illnesses and ailments they might have. And this fish gruel looks, as we've been told, like a banana smoothie. So if you have any desire to, you can pretend that your next smoothie is fish gruel and pretend to be a seal. You can actually find our Seal Pup formula milkshake recipe this Saturday. We will be sharing that with you on our Seal Pup Shower virtual open house. So tune in this Saturday, April 18th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll be sharing lots of fun things. As you can see, it's quite a process. And our patients are fed anywhere between 2 to over 5 times a day. Our little harbor seal pups will be fed at 7 a.m. 3 times throughout the normal shift of the day. So we're up to 4 feeds there, 5 and 6 at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. And here we're going to be weighing out some salt that will be added to the meal. These handheld digital kitchen scales are another item on our wish list currently. And you can see what great care our volunteers take in what they do. They know exactly how much it should be, not a little bit more or a little bit less. The last thing we'll do for preparing these feeds is to put all of the materials into the bucket for that feed. So we'll have the syringe filled with the fish gruel, the tube, and then of course, once it's all prepared and once it's all been fed out, it's time to clean! This Saturday, April 18th, we have a special surprise for you. We are taking our annual Seal Pup Shower online, where you can take a virtual hospital tour and see what goes on behind the scenes in a whole new way, live at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Join us throughout that day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for Seal Pup crafts, a coloring contest, the recipe for our Seal Pup formula milkshake, our live game show at 2 p.m., Seriously Smart, where you can test your knowledge about everything we've been talking about in our behind the scenes, our aquatic adventures, and our Minute to Swim It on Instagram. We can't wait to see you there. You can find more information at nmlc.org/education/Seal Pup Shower online.